Welcome back to RF Coins. Today we're diving deep. Could change your life forever? What if I told you that tucked away in an old jar, pocket, or inherited coin collection, there could be a 1969 Lincoln penny that is worth over $500,000? Yes, you heard that right. A single 1969 penny from the United States of America has sold for a jaw-dropping market value of $585,342. This is not a myth or internet rumor. This is a coin collector's dream come true, and today, we are diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1969 Lincoln penny. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover might just send you searching through your own change. Let's start at the beginning. The Lincoln penny, named after President Abraham Lincoln, was first minted in 1909. It was introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Before that, no U.S. coin had ever featured a real person. So when Victor David Brenner designed the now famous profile of Lincoln facing right, it was a revolutionary step in American coinage. The Lincoln cent has had a long and evolving history, but something very unique happened in 1969 that changed everything. In 1969, the United States Mint produced Lincoln pennies across several mint locations including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The vast majority of these pennies were ordinary, everyday coins meant for circulation. But a rare error during the minting process led to the creation of something truly extraordinary. One of the most valuable coins in American history was accidentally born, the 1969 double die obverse Lincoln penny. So what exactly is a double die? Let me break it down in simple terms. When a coin die is being manufactured, it must be struck multiple times by an engraved hub to fully transfer the design. If there is any misalignment during this process, it can cause a doubling effect on the coin. When this flawed die is used to strike actual coins, those coins come out with visibly doubled features, most noticeably in the lettering and date. In the case of the 1969 penny, this doubling is bold and clearly visible to the naked eye. You can see it on the words "In God We Trust," Liberty, and especially the date 1969. What makes this coin so desirable is not just the doubling itself, but the fact that it was struck at the San Francisco Mint, indicated by the small s mint mark below the date. Only a handful of these double die pennies were ever released before the error was discovered. And here's the twist: once the mint realized what happened, most of the flawed coins were confiscated and destroyed by the Secret Service because they were thought to be counterfeits. Only a few escaped this fate, and that's why the surviving 1969 double die Lincoln pennies are among the rarest and most coveted coins in American history. Imagine holding in your hand a coin so rare, so valuable, that collectors and numismatists would pay a fortune for it. In fact, one verified specimen of this rare 1969 double die obverse penny was sold at auction for over $585,000. That's not an estimate. That's a documented sale price. And other examples in slightly lower grades have still fetched tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now let's talk condition. As with all coins, the value of a 1969 double die Lincoln penny depends heavily on its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state. A penny in poor condition might still be worth a few $1,000s. But one in mint or near mint condition, meaning no scratches, no wear, and perfect surfaces, could be worth hundreds of thousands, maybe even more, depending on market demand. The most recent record price came from a certified MS-64 red grade, which represents a coin in superb condition with full original red luster. So how can you tell if you have one of these miraculous coins? Here's what to look for. Start with the year 1969. Then look for the small s mint mark under the date. Now examine the lettering closely. The most obvious signs are strong doubling in the words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." The letters will appear as if they've been shadowed or outlined. This isn't minor or hard to see, the doubling is bold and unmistakable. If you see even a hint of it, do not clean the coin, do not touch it more than you have to, and get it professionally evaluated immediately. And here's another tip: get familiar with coin grading services like PCGS and NGC. These organizations authenticate and grade rare coins, which is essential if you want to sell or auction one. Without certification, most buyers won't risk spending big money. But once certified, your coin becomes a verified asset, ready to be auctioned at major numismatic events where collectors from all over the world gather. Let's take a moment to appreciate the impact of coins like the 1969 penny. They remind us that history is all around us. That a small copper piece of pocket change can contain within it a story of human error, government secrecy, and incredible financial value. It also reminds us to never overlook the ordinary. Because even in the most common places, like a jar of spare change or a dusty old drawer, something extraordinary might be hiding. Now, for those of you wondering about the current market, yes, this coin still maintains high demand. As of this year, rare coin collectors, dealers, and auction houses continue to actively seek out the 1969 double-die obverse penny. The market value can fluctuate slightly based on condition and timing, but the best examples still command over $500,000. That means right now, this tiny piece of metal is worth more than some luxury sports cars, more than gold bars of the same weight, and more than the average American home. So what should you do now? Start checking your change. Revisit your old coin albums. Ask your grandparents if they collected coins. You never know, you might just find yourself holding the next six-figure penny in your hands. The 1969 Lincoln penny is not just a piece of currency. It is a historical artifact, a collector's prize, and for a lucky few, a life-changing discovery. Make sure to like this video if you learned something new. Subscribe to the channel for more incredible coin discoveries, hidden treasures, and numismatic secrets. And let us know in the comments, have you ever found a rare coin? Do you think you might have a valuable penny lying around? Thanks for watching, and as always, keep searching. You never know what treasure you might find next. Welcome back to the channel. If you're a coin collector, a history lover, or just someone who wants to make big money from pocket change, then you've clicked on the right video. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in American numismatic history, the legendary 1982 Lincoln penny. That's right, a penny, just 1 cent, that could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars, with one rare variety recently reaching a staggering value of $585,341 in the market. Yes, you heard that right. So make sure to watch this video all the way to the end, because we're going to explore why this coin is so valuable, how to identify it, the different varieties that exist, its rich backstory, and how you can tell if you have a small fortune hiding in your change jar right now. The story of the Lincoln cent. Let's start at the beginning. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American coinage since it was first issued in 1909. That was the centennial year of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and the U.S. Mint honored him by placing his bust on the obverse of the 1-cent coin, the first real person to appear on a regular issue American coin. Since then, the Lincoln penny has gone through a number of design and compositional changes. But perhaps the most critical and most lucrative change came in the year 1982. That's when something fascinating happened, and it changed the Lincoln cent forever. The U.S. Mint faced a big problem. Rising copper prices made it more expensive to produce pennies. In fact, by the early 1980s, the cost to make a penny out of 95% copper was more than the coin's face value. The government had to act fast. So in mid-1982, the Mint made a huge decision. They changed the composition of the penny. Before the change, pennies were made primarily of copper, 95% copper and 5% zinc. But after the switch, they were made from zinc with a thin outer layer of copper, essentially just copper-plated zinc. Here's where it gets interesting. Because the switch happened mid-year, both copper and zinc pennies were minted in 1982. But that's not all. There were multiple versions. 8 known varieties of the 1982 Lincoln cent exist. That makes 1982 one of the most complex and collectible years in all of Lincoln cent history. The 8 varieties of the 1982 PNNY. So what are the 8 varieties? Here's the breakdown. The discovery of the 1982 D copper small date. For decades, collectors believed that no 1982 D small date cents were struck using the copper composition. All Denver Mint coins with a small date were thought to be made of zinc. But in 2016, that belief was shattered. A numismatist discovered a 1982 D small date Lincoln cent that weighed about 3.1 grams, the weight of a copper penny. Upon further testing and verification by third-party grading services, it was confirmed. It was real. A genuine Denver minted small date penny from 1982, made from copper, and only a few have ever been found. One of these rare coins sold at auction for more than $18,000. But here's where it gets wild. Experts believe that only a handful of these coins exist. If more are discovered, especially in pristine uncirculated condition or with an MS-65 or higher grade, their value could skyrocket. Some estimates put the possible market price at well over $500,000. In fact, one extremely high-graded version was valued at over $585,000 by private collectors and auction houses. Get it authenticated. Don't sell it on eBay just yet. You'll want to have it certified by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. This will protect your investment and dramatically increase its resale value. Current market value and record sales. Let's talk money. As of today, May 2025, the market for rare 1982 pennies is hotter than ever. With the coin collecting community booming and prices climbing fast, these coins are commanding massive premiums. A regular 1982 copper large date penny in circulated condition is worth about 2 to 5 cents, not bad, but nothing life-changing. However, an uncirculated or proof example could fetch between $20 and $50, depending on grade and demand, but the real jackpot lies in the rare varieties. A 1982 D copper small date penny in near mint condition recently sold for $18,000. And collectors have offered private bids exceeding $500,000 for verified examples in mint state 67 and above. Some dealers list the projected maximum value of an ultra-rare specimen as high as $585,341, especially if it receives a top-tier certification and is placed in a major numismatic auction. Final thoughts: what should you do now? So what's the takeaway? First, check your pocket change. Then dig out your old coin jars, ask your parents or grandparents if they have old rolls of pennies lying around. Visit estate sales. Go to flea markets. You never know, your next big discovery could be hiding in plain sight. The 1982 Lincoln penny may look small, but it holds a giant piece of American history and a massive potential payday for anyone lucky enough to find one of the rare varieties. Whether you're a new collector or a seasoned numismatist, this is one coin you cannot afford to ignore. Outro. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe for more coin and currency content, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Drop a comment below if you have a 1982 penny or if you've ever found a valuable coin in your change. And as always, happy hunting. You just might be one coin away from a small fortune. Stay tuned, stay curious, and keep collecting. Could be worth over $585,000? Yes, you heard that right. A simple Lincoln penny from 1983 with a small D mint mark could potentially change your life forever. In this video, we're diving deep into the fascinating story behind the 1983 D Lincoln cent and why some of these ordinary-looking coins are making headlines in the coin collecting world. Make sure to stick around to the very end, because we'll also reveal what to look for, where to sell, and how to tell if you have one of these ultra-rare and valuable coins. Intro music or transition. Let's start from the beginning. The Lincoln cent, also known as the Lincoln penny, has been in circulation since 1909. That's when it was first introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The coin replaced the Indian head cent and became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, not a symbolic figure. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse or front of the penny features the iconic side profile of President Lincoln. Over the decades, the reverse design has changed, but the Lincoln image has remained constant. Fast forward to the year 1983. A lot had changed in the U.S. economy. Just 1 year earlier, in 1982, the United States Mint made a major change in the composition of the penny. Until 1982, Lincoln cents were made mostly of copper. But due to rising copper prices, the mint began producing pennies from zinc with a thin copper coating. This reduced production costs, but it also introduced new minting challenges. This is where things get really interesting. Now let's talk about the star of today's video, the 1983 D Lincoln penny. The D stands for Denver, where this particular penny was minted. Most of the 1983 pennies, including the 1983 D, were supposed to be made with the new zinc composition. However, rare errors can occur during coin production, and every once in a while, something goes wrong, or right, depending on how you look at it. In the case of the 1983 D penny, a small number of these coins were mistakenly struck on copper planchets. Those are the blank discs that become coins, left over from the pre-1982 era. This error resulted in a few extremely rare coins that look like every other penny but weigh slightly more and contain almost pure copper. This little difference, almost invisible to the naked eye, makes these coins unbelievably valuable. So, how can you tell if your 1983 D penny is one of the rare ones? There are a few things you need to check. First, get a precise coin scale. A regular zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams. But the rare copper pennies weigh around 3.1 grams. That tiny difference in weight is the first clue that you might be holding a treasure. Next, look at the mint mark. Make sure it clearly shows a D under the year 1983. And remember, condition matters. The better the shape of your coin, the more it can be worth. Coins in mint or near mint condition, without scratches, damage, or discoloration, fetch the highest prices. You can also do what's called a drop test. Copper coins make a distinct ringing sound when dropped on a hard surface, while zinc coins sound duller. While not foolproof, this can be a quick trick to try before getting more professional equipment involved. If you suspect you have a rare coin, don't rush to sell it right away. First, get it professionally graded. That means sending it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These are trusted companies that authenticate, grade, and encapsulate coins, protecting them and certifying their authenticity. Having your coin certified by one of these institutions can significantly increase its value on the open market. The highest quality examples of the 1983 D copper penny have sold for jaw-dropping amounts. One example sold for over $585,000 at auction, setting records and shaking up the coin collecting world. But even less than perfect specimens can still bring in thousands of dollars. You might be wondering why anyone would pay such insane money for a penny. That's a fair question. The answer lies in the world of numismatics, which is the study and collection of coins. For rare coin collectors, owning a unique or historically significant piece is like owning a piece of art or a fragment of history. Rarity, condition, and demand all come together to drive prices up. The market value of the 1983 D copper penny is currently estimated to be over $500,000 for a perfect, graded example. However, even coins that aren't in mint state could be worth several $1,000s if they contain the rare copper alloy. Investors and collectors alike are hunting for these coins. Some search through rolls of pennies from the bank, others buy bags of unsearched coins, and some even go metal detecting. There's a whole world out there of people looking for hidden treasure in what others consider pocket change. How to sell if you have ONE? If you believe you found a 1983 D copper penny, the next step is to consult a professional coin dealer or a numismatic expert. Avoid pawn shops or unverified online buyers, as they might not offer fair value. Once verified and graded, you can list your coin through major auction houses, numismatic forums, or websites like eBay, heritage auctions, or great collections. It's important to do your homework and get several opinions before parting with such a rare and valuable item. Also, make sure you understand the tax implications of selling a high-value coin, as it might count as a capital gain. Final thoughts and call TOACTO. And so the next time you see a penny, don't just walk past it. Pick it up, take a closer look, and weigh it if it's from 1983. You never know, it could be worth more than a luxury car, a college education, or even a house. The 1983 D. Lincoln penny is one of the most fascinating and valuable coins circulating today, and it serves as a reminder that treasure can sometimes be hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more incredible coin discoveries, numismatic tips, and real stories of everyday people striking gold, literally. Don't forget to leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or want me to cover another specific year or type of coin. Every coin has a story, and yours might be worth a fortune. Outro music and end screen.